It rained yesterday. Just running around checking things out. Just, let's see. So what happened since it rained? Well, lots of stuff. This Cambuca that I did an update on, what was it, a couple days ago, has like really pushed out all this new growth. So look at that. Pretty cool. Hopefully it gets, I'm hoping it grows tall this year. Look at that. Just exploding. Um, I find whenever it rains, like they feel like they're ready to push out. Um, put a blackberry on the ground, and usually those things can take full sun, but it looks like it's like burnt up. I don't know, that's kind of weird. I'm assuming that it's going to burn up and then grow out of it. But let's look over here. Let's see what's happening. This banana finally pushed out a flower. This is an Orinoco. And look at that. Like these petals are thick. Look at this thing. That's cool. Look at that on the ground. Um, how many flower or bananas we got? We got one, two, at least three hands. I think I see a fourth hand of bananas in there. So we're gonna have quite a few bananas off of that guy. Yeah, let's see. These passion fruits in here are still not quite ripe yet. There's a bunch of them in there. Speaking of passion fruit, there's a cardinal on the tree over there. Um, so I think I showed a while back that I put these passion fruits in the ground over here. There was a couple over there that rotted or burnt up, but the ones that are doing really good, I put under this oak tree. Um, and so it's kind of vining along. And the purple possum, you can kind of see it right here. It's like, I think it's like all the way over there. And this morning after the rain, I noticed that it's like, see if I can not stare at the sun. Ooh, let's see. Well, let me figure this out. Yeah, there we go. You can see it's like all the way up there now. So it's gonna climb out like all over the oak tree here. And this is the one that broke off and fell in the yard. Hopefully it doesn't do that a second time, but I don't think it will because it's got a new branch coming out of there, so it's probably still alive. Yeah, there's new branches coming out right there. But I'm just wondering if this thing's gonna take over a lot more than I expected, and I'll be okay if it's raining passion fruit. But oh yeah, the other thing is I said that this was an avocado, but someone commented saying like, no, that might not be an avocado. It could be a camphor tree, which, you know, looking it up, definitely could be. I crushed the leaves, like they said, and it definitely has a very good smell to me. But it just looks so much like an avocado, but I think they're actually related. So I don't know. We'll let it grow. If it gets too big and out of hand, then, you know, it's always easier to remove a tree than put a tree in. But here's a better view of these leaves. Definitely looks different than an avocado, but very similar at the same time. Because I would expect the avocados to have bigger leaves, but it is a seedling, so who knows? Here's what the avocados look like for reference, if anyone's curious. They're very, very, very similar. I mean, you can kind of see why I would mistake that, but alright, let's see what's going on over here. I'm not going to do this for too long, but orange sherbet is pushing out some new growth. These turmerics are popping up. I was kind of worried they wouldn't come back since it's been so dry, but they came back. Mystery mango doing pretty good. I, we got to get some mangoes off this thing next year. I know this year kind of sucked for mangoes for a lot of people. Oh, my South Sea salad tree fell over. I have to prop this thing up. Let me not let it. This is from the rain yesterday. I am growing some seeds from this thing, so hopefully it doesn't completely keel off, but if it does, it's okay. Let's see. Xanthochymus is doing good here. I've been adding a lot of like plant matter that's been falling in the yard, kind of back in here, just to kind of help add some nutrition to the soil. And I noticed this Xanthochymus up in the ground really was suffering from being in direct sunlight. So I piled up these leaves so that at least it gets shaded somewhat in the afternoon, like later in the afternoon. I also put these pigeon peas in the ground here. I pulled them up and just stuck them in, and they kind of look pathetic, but they might come back. Who knows? It's whatever. I did the same thing with a bunch of them, kind of put them all over the place, and you kind of see that they do die back, but I think it's because they work on their root system. Here's another one I did, and literally I just pulled up seedlings that had fallen off whenever I was chopping and dropping, but you can see this one died back at the top, but it's coming back on the stem. So it does work. I planted some of my pepper plants that were in pots that were getting too annoying for me to handle inside. So these are in the ground now. And I'm kind of planting them around these Garcinia trees so they get a little bit of shade when they're young. This one still hasn't popped up yet. This is the Pakuri, the unknown species of Garcinia from Horridessa on the forum. And I've had a, the solitary wasp that's been like digging holes. I can't seem to get away from my my tropical seeds that I directly sow from getting assaulted by critters, but it's not attacking the seed. It's the black solitary wasp with like an orange dot on its butt. And what they do is they dig tunnels in the soil, and they'll actually lay their eggs in the soil, and then they'll go and hunt other insects and like put them in the soil and basically feed it to their larvae when they hatch. They're really cool, and they're good to have in the yard. They eat worms, which is what you want. So here's the Luke's Garcinia after the rain. It looks so good. Look how dark green that is. I put this strawberry guava seedling that I grew in front of it just to give it a little bit of shade, because it was pretty, the sun comes down and beats on it, so we'll let it get acclimated a little bit first since it's been in the shade. Pepper plant's doing good. Everything just looks so nice after a rain. Had a critter break off. I got this, was it pink lemonade blueberry for like $6 at Lowe's whenever I was buying some mulch, and it was in the 50% off section, so I couldn't pass that up, so I just threw it on the ground. See how well it does. It's been taking the full sun. When I purchased it, it was just in a pot in full sun, so I figured it was already acclimated, and it seems like it is. But always love blueberries. Yeah, the achacha is looking really good. It's got a little bit of sunburn, but I think it looks pretty good. You can kind of see it's a little funky. There's these little spots on it. I'm not sure what that's from, if that's just from like droplets that have been refracting the light in a certain way, but I mean the growth looks good. It just got a little bit of spots. A little bit of tip burn on this guy too, so I don't know if y'all can tell me what that is. I'm pretty sure that I'm right, that it's just from the sun. Oh yeah, this Glazioviana, I was seeing by it a second ago, pushing out a whole bunch of new growth since I put it in the ground. Nice and fuzzy and green. Obviously there's some spots on it, but I kind of expect that with it being in full sun. It'll probably look better in September, August, when the sun's less intense. Well, maybe October, it'll look really good. But let's see. I got these, if anyone's wondering what this is Suriname spinach. And it's really awesome for, I've found like putting it under the Garcinia like this, because it'll shade out the bottom and act as a natural mulch. And it just keeps things moist. Like I don't really have to water this guy at all. I really don't have to water this guy at all. And I've been using the longevity spinach in the same way, but this is more compact. And they'll reseed themselves too. They kind of planted themselves there, but I'll try and save the seeds from these. I took cuttings and put them all over the place as well. But here's the cacao. This is the yellow cacao. And then I've got this canistel that I put in the ground in like March, and it's not doing too hot. I don't know why. I think it just doesn't like the full sun. Come to think of it, whenever this is a Trumpo grafted, I thought it was I thought it was an air layer, but you can kind of see the graft here. Let me see if I can get the focus on that. Yeah, there you can see the cleft graft there. But I'm not sure what's going on. It's like burnt up and dropping all its leaves, and maybe it's just doing that thing where it's working on its root system and the leaves really weren't acclimated. So it's just dropping all the leaves to work on the root system. I'm hoping that's what's going on. I do see like a little sucker down here, which I don't know if the scion is dying and it's just coming back from the sucker. I don't know if I should, I'm just gonna pop it off because I don't want it to focus on this and not on the scion. So see, it was growing down there, so I know the root's still good. I guess it'll come back if it needs to. But I mean, it's still green where the leaf fell off. So I don't know, we'll see. Worst case scenario, I mean, I got this for like $30. I'll just get another one after that if it doesn't take. I'm gonna end it here pretty soon. Let's see. Climuck. This is like the champion of the yard. Like, it takes everything. Full sun. Like, it dropped off all of its leaves from last year, but I think that's pretty natural for a tropical tree to do that. It was kind of spotty and yellowy from the cold, and then so all those leaves are on the ground now. And it's just, you can see it's just pushing out fantastic looking new growth. So let's see. So we got our jackfruits over here as well. And these are looking pretty nice. One thing I notice is you see this, I'm pretty sure that's burned from the sun. So as they've been getting older, the newer leaves are more acclimated to the full sun. And they seem to, all of the seedlings seem to be doing the same thing, where they get further and further up into the sunlight, they get more sun, and so all the old leaves drop off. And I'll show you an extreme case over here. So I've got this other jackfruit in between this banana and my lemon guava, where you can see the sun's just come through and burned all these ferns too. This happens every year, but see, all these this leaf here is just burnt to a crisp, but there's like some new growth right there. And so it'll drop off all the older, bigger leaves and push out newer leaves that are hardened off to the sunlight. Even over here, I've got some seedlings that were directly sown, and they're moving at a slower pace over here, but they're starting to really kick off. Let's see. It's hard to see. Yeah, here we go. And these guys did the same thing, because I don't water over here at all. And so they dropped all their leaves, and they were really burnt up looking. But you can see there's one, two. I'm sure there's a third one in here somewhere that I'm just not seeing. Yeah, here we go. There's a third one there. And see, there's actually a couple that died way back. But look at that. This one has a little bit of green. I don't know if you can see that at the bottom. Yeah, there you go. See the green? So it's pushing out new leaves, even though they've like burnt back. So they're pretty strong, these seedling jackfruits. So just kind of let them do their thing. They'll figure it out. They're pretty drought tolerant, it seems. Yeah, I don't have too much else that I want to mention. Yeah, I've got this, I've got my other Ingaviras, so this is like a composted pile of grass clippings and leaves that I've been putting here over the past, since I've moved into this house. You can kind of see it's piled up pretty good. So yeah, that's a good spot to put the Inga. Yeah, I've got another Ingavira here, and another one over here. And I don't really intend on letting them grow out to be big plants, or at least those ones. And by those ones, I mean this one and the one over there behind the dragon fruit. Kind of want to just use them for chop and drop. But I've got another Ingavira that I put in the ground from a pot, and it was growing pretty fast. You can see it's starting to get a little toasted from the sun. Or is that from the sun? Maybe, I don't know. This one looks pretty good, but I'll let this one grow out. And it kind of be a nice backdrop. But use them for chop and drop if they do get too big. That's kind of the idea behind even like the pigeon peas, is that you can kind of let them grow up everywhere in your yard. And if they get big, you just chop them back. And you don't really have to worry about the seedlings, because you can just chop those back or pull them out and move them around. And I'll show you even over here, like what happens with just a couple of trees. So we've got these are kind of like the original pigeon peas. So these are the two mothers to all the other seedlings all around. You can kind of see they're kind of popping up, like the seedlings pop up everywhere. But really, you can just pop them out. And I'm just gonna throw that on as green mulch. But if you look in here, like look at all this. Like, that's good stuff. And these things will just shed over time, where you can, prune them back to keep them to size. You get all these pods. I waited too long to get these pods. They're all kind of, I wouldn't eat them. They're kind of gloopy and fuzzy. But yeah, like it works as a really good mulch. And but they just pop up everywhere. So you can kind of, it's like free mulch that you don't have to think about. As long as you just watch them, don't let them get too out of control. Select the ones that you want to continue growing large, so you don't run out of pigeon peas. That's kind of my theory anyways. I'm practicing it right now, so we'll see how it works out for me. But yeah, I just felt like doing a quick video. It's not too quick, I guess we're at 15 minutes, but just kind of collecting my thoughts and sharing them. Look at this Jabberwocky cob over here, see how it's doing after the rain. I'm pretty sure it's got new growth. Let's see. I know I saw some. Oh yeah, see, like down there, it's got some new growth from whenever I pruned it. It's popping out down there. So this thing is still acclimating to the sunlight. It's looking really burnt up. But I think they just do that in the summer here. Even my red on the inside, I'll close up after the red. Like it, I've been told from people like, oh, your Javas can handle full sun in Florida. Like, they can handle it, but they really don't look good. I wouldn't do a hedgerow in my front yard of these. You can see that. Like maybe I'm sure there's a variety that would do really well, but I don't know about the red. Look at all the fruit. I gotta eat this. But yeah, rambling over. Get back to work. But y'all take care.